Yo, what's up, guys? So, Enfield launched yesterday, and if you've been living under a rock, you wouldn't know about the PayPal situation that went down. Scandal, if you will. It was a little bit crazy. So, yesterday, we all jumped on the game to start playing the game, and of course, it's a gacha game. Some people started swiping, myself included. I actually went to buy the Battle Pass. Well, I did buy the Battle Pass, technically. So, I went to buy the Battle Pass. I went through to click on PayPal. Yep, I used PayPal in 2026. I know. And I got a slider that I had to slide to say I was human. Did that. And then it told me that there was an issue with PayPal at the moment. So I was like, all right then. Closed out of it. I thought, you know what? We'll wait till it's back up. And it had purchased the Battle Pass for me. Straight away, I was like, wait a minute. I haven't put my details in. So I was a little bit nervous thinking they'd got my details. So I went to my PayPal. Everything was fine. I had got no transactions on my PayPal though, so I was like, okay, maybe something's pending. I don't know what's going on here. A little bit weird. And then we started to find out that there was a bit of a problem going on. What was happening to some people, they were getting charged for other people's purchases, basically. People were thinking that people were hacked at first. It doesn't seem like that's the case. So we've got a little bit more information from the developers now. So let's talk about it then, because they did put a post up yesterday just saying, like, look, something's happening. We'll find out what's going on. They've got a little bit more information now, and let's have a look at the post, and then we'll discuss it then. Yeah, so this is straight from the developers themselves. Dear administrators, earlier today, we identified an issue with our payment system that affected a small number of purchases made via PayPal by players using the official launcher, as well as the PayPal top-ups made through the website. In these cases, there was an inconsistency between the order and delivery item. The issue only impacted a limited set of orders. So at 9:58 AM, we received our first player report related to PayPal payments. At 11:05 AM, after confirming the issue, we immediately disabled PayPal as a payment option to prevent further impact. At 6:20 PM, we completed a full review of all PayPal transactions and identified the affected transactions. And at 6:30 PM, we began issuing full refunds for all orders created between 9:36:51 and 11:05:36, including purchases using the official launcher and top-ups made via the website. All refunds are expected to be completed within a few hours. If you do not receive your refund as expected, please contact, and then we've got the website, the link there to the customer support with your account server, Asia, NA, EU, and your UID, and our support team will assist you. Providing a stable and reliable service is a top priority for us. Data security is foundational to our services and a core priority for Gryphline. The PayPal payment option will remain disabled and will only be re-enabled after the issue has been fully resolved and thoroughly tested. We sincerely apologize for this inconvenience. So, not a great start, right? It's a shame because so far, at least the few hours that I've played, right? Obviously, I've played in the betas, but I only got to play a few hours last night because it was like 1 AM, the servers went live. The game's been running flawlessly. The 120 FPS option, gorgeous. The game, it's been running well since CBT1, right? So, everything else seems to have gone off without a hitch. And then this happened, and it's a pretty big thing, right? It's not just like the game's running a little bit poor on certain devices. This is a major trust issue when it comes to this sort of stuff in games, right? You know, it can knock people's confidence in potentially spending on a game, connecting their service to a game, whether it's PayPal, whether it's the bank. There'll be people who'll be like, ooh, I ain't touching this until I know what's going on. And I don't blame them. PayPal is still currently turned off. I did check in the game earlier. It's still disabled through the direct PayPal and the PayPal card. You can do it the other way still with the Apple Pay and your card, which is still enabled. But this was a pretty huge thing, right? As I say, it happened to me, but I was on the opposite side. I didn't put my details in, but I received the thing I was trying to purchase. So I'm assuming some poor soul has paid for my Battle Pass. The thing that worries me a little bit now, right, because obviously I'm assuming we're going to potentially probably get some pulls. Hey, look, I know. But the reason I'm saying that is not just because this is a major thing, right, that they've got to, this is a PR disaster when you think about it. But, like, I was thinking, like, of course, I'm glad I didn't get stuff deducted from my account that I hadn't bought, because I would be incredibly pissed. I'm not going to lie. This would piss me off. And it's still an incredibly unsettling situation. But the worry I have now, right, is I've got the Battle Pass. but I didn't pay for the battle pass. I can't connect my payment details yet, and I don't want to just yet. So what happens now? Does that get deducted from my account because it was like a false purchase, right? And the worry is, when it comes to the battle pass, as I continue to play the game, I'll receive rewards through the battle pass unless I just don't click claim all, I guess. And the Origeometry that I already got from where I'd already leveled up into in the battle pass, and then spent to get on the next Origeometry pass. What does that mean for me? Does that mean the stuff that I've earned I'll get taken away? I can't do anything with any of my Origeometry, which I'm not going to, because it's like, you've seen what's happened with games in the past, right? When extra stuff's been applied to people's accounts by accident, or we've had games where the amount of currency people were receiving in situations, or the devs had thrown out to people, were too much, and they took those back, and some people ended up in the red, in the negative. So I'm like, I don't want to mess around with my battle pass in case I end up in the negative. Is it going to be taken away? Is it just something they're going to chalk up to? Okay, we'll, depending on what people have bought and used, we'll just leave it and we'll just fix the refunds, because obviously a lot of companies really don't like to leave those things just sitting there. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do. And of course, it's a bit of a frustration for me. And if I do have to lose her, it's not even just that the worry of potentially being in the red, right? It's like, okay, I have to then buy my battle pass and start the progress again from the start, which again, obviously, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it's definitely a frustration, right? So it's like, I do think that they're going to have to acknowledge that as well. Again, I haven't seen many people talking about that they got stuff for free. I've just seen most people saying that, yo, I got hit with a payment. Again, because initially people thought that it was hacked, right? It just seems that there's been some sort of error. I don't think anybody's details have been compromised. Even though I didn't put my details into PayPal, I'm super anal. I went and changed my password and everything, right? And I suggest, if you did connect it, just do it. It's always the best thing to do. Obviously, disconnect your PayPal, but change all your details. Anything like this, when I'm linked to anything potentially and there's issues, I always change my details. Once again, I didn't even get to put my details in. But that being said, again, I still did it. So it's not a great start. Because, again, it's one of those things. It's not going to cause major issues in the long run, I don't think. But it could potentially affect revenue on launch, right? And it definitely affects consumer confidence. This is a major thing, right? You know, especially nowadays, with phishing and hackers and people stealing people's money from their accounts. It's a big fear for people, isn't it? So it's going to knock a lot of people's confidence, especially people who've been hit by this. And of course, you're going to get some people who might not potentially have even noticed what's happened yet. They just jumped on. They haven't been online. They're playing the game. They're connected to PayPal. They bought some stuff and they've just played through the night, and they've gone to work now, or they've gone to bed, and they're going to wake up and be like, what the hell? How much stuff did I buy last night? How many drinks did I have? So, yeah, it's definitely something they need to get on top of. But it looks like Fobmaster, as I said in the previous video, he got hit. A couple of other streamers got, like, you could see in live, real time, Fobmaster was like, what the hell, going through payments that had been took from him. I think it happened to Styx as well, apparently. Like, I think if you look here, Styx said someone did a 10,000 yen top-up from my account when my Battle Pass kept failing. RIP. Some dude in Japan just bought himself Battle Pass from my PayPal before I even got it, which is crazy. So we still don't quite know yet how this came about, right? Now, I've never seen anything like this personally, so I'm assuming that it's a fuck-up on Enfield's end. But at the same time, there's something to be said. How is PayPal allowed, like, you know, charges to go to one person's account from multiple different places connected to the same game? There's obviously, like, a bit of an issue there as well, right? So that's something that PayPal definitely need to be looking at as well. Well, as I say, since I've never seen this before, there's something gone on Hypergryph's end. And I think we were speaking about this in stream yesterday, and I think this is just another example of why it's probably a good idea to have paid betas like they do in CN, right? Because that would have been a perfect opportunity to iron out all of the problems there. It would have been a much smaller pool, a bit more controlled, and they could have had a little bit more of a positive experience with it, right? Instead of, you know, a massive game like this dropping, and evidently a lot of people spending a lot of money on the game, right? So be interesting to see if that's a thing that ever changes going forward with other games, and they start to be like, oh, you know, we don't want that happening. But as I say, I've never seen this particular issue happen. I've seen things where you know, people have had issues with, you know, their details getting compromised and, you know, databases getting breached and just issues in general, people getting double charged, all that sort of stuff, you know, buying something in a game and then they look at their account and they're like, I've paid for it twice, what's going on here? But I've never seen this, where literally, you know, one person's funding like 5 people's different transactions. Kind of crazy. It takes Mr. Pokey's our account to a whole new level. It was all our account by the looks of it then. Yeah, it's obviously, you got to joke about it, but I wouldn't be happy if I'd looking at my PayPal balance today and I was like, I've just spent 300 quid on Arknights Endfield and I haven't spent a penny, or I bought the £5 pass or something like that. So yeah, it's not a great look, but it's good to see that we've already had 2 posts from the developers here, and hopefully it'll keep us up to date. But the good thing is everybody who's been affected is getting refunds. The question is now, to the people who, like me, have had irregular deployments to their account, what does that mean for me? Do I have to just wait for it to be taken off me now to restart the battle pass again? Because that kind of sucks, right? I didn't have an issue. Like, my PayPal was ready to spend on the game day one. So I'd like to know what's going on there. If it's only a smaller number of people, are they just going to chalk it up to, hey, look, we'll take that on the chin and we'll go from there? Because, again, it's not going to stop me playing the game. But it will sting to have to just restart the battle pass. Again, I haven't paid for it. It's not like I'm annoyed there. But it's just a time thing, right? It's just a time thing. I want to start grinding the game. I want to be able to claim my weapon case. I want to be able to think, right, okay, let's start stacking my geometry because I can roll on to the next pass, and then the little bits that I've got extra I could put towards getting pulls and stuff. But I can't do that now because I don't know what's going on. So yeah, it's not good, but it's good to see that they're on top of it. But hey, it's not a gacha game without some massive problem at launch. This is definitely one of the most crazy ones I've seen. But I'm really happy to see that it's been dealt with really quick, and hopefully everybody who has been affected gets their money back. And again, I will put a link to this in the comments down below, okay? If you've been affected and you haven't got your money, go chase them. Go chase them, okay? But anyway, guys, let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you're thinking about the game as well. We haven't had a chance to really talk about the game yet, right? I've been playing both betas. For the people who haven't played the beta, are you having fun? I'd love to know. Anyway, I'll catch you all later, guys. Yeah.